Good afternoon, Mandal. I am R.V. Kiran, Assistant Professor, Department of Mechanical Engineering. Today, in this video lecture, I am going to explain you about the different errors occur in the screw threads and what are the profile thread gauges. It is also called as screw thread gauges also. That means what are the gauges to be measured by using the screw threads. And this is my 51st lecture regarding to the subject metrology. So in the previous class we have discussed about the three-wire method and best of the wire size. And today I am going to explain you about the errors in the thread measurement. So our first topic is errors in threads. So some type of errors have been established due to the different manufacturing methods or different storage methods used in the screw thread measurement. So, what are the errors to be arising due to these manufacturing or storage methods? We need to find out. So, arise during the manufacturing or storage of threads, and these errors may be caused due to the following elements in the thread. So, due to the following elements, they have been obtained. First one is the major diameter error. So, this major diameter error is caused the reduction in the flank constant and interference with the matching threads. So these two have been obtained in that. And these flank constants have been changing in the major diameter, and this is changed due to the internal design thread of the major diameter. And second one is the minor diameter error. So this is caused due to the interference and reduction of the flank constant. So this is mainly due to the reduction of the flank constant only. So whenever the flank is going to be changed, so it causes the error in the minor diameter. So that is why this error is caused. Last one is the effective diameter error. So if the effective diameter error is small, the threads will be thin on the external screw, and this is thick on the internal screw. So the error should be thin on the external screw and it is to be thick on the internal screw. So the type of measurement has been done to the effective diameter error. And next one is the pitch error. So this pitch error is occurred due to the it is defined as the total length of thread engaged is either too high or too small. So it is defined by the too high measurement or too small measurement of the screw thread. And next, the types of the errors have been classified into four types. First one is the progressive error. Second one is the periodic error. Third one is the drunken error. And last one is the irregular type of error. So four types of errors have been occurred in this screw thread measurement. So let's go to the first one, that is the progressive error. So in this type of errors, that is the progressive error, pitch of the thread is uniform, but it is longer or shorter to its nominal size. So it is generally longer or shorter to its nominal size. And the causes for occurring these progressive type of errors are: first one is the incorrect linear and angular velocity ratio. Second one is the incorrect gear train and the lead screw which is attached to it. Third one is the saddle fault. And fourth one is the variation in length due to hardening. So these are the different types of causes occurred in the progressive error. So here in the picture we can see the graph referring to the length of the thread and the cumulative pitch error occurred in the progressive error. So the graph is used to be in the straight line. So because of the equal amount of the length of the thread and the cumulative pitch error. So due to this, it happened to be in a straight line path. So this is equal in path, but some amount of length of thread is high as compared to the cumulative pitch error. Next one is the periodic error. So this periodic error is occurred due to the repeated itself at the regular intervals along the thread. So this has been occurred at regular intervals along the thread of the. And the causes occurring in the periodic error is for the causes is first one is the non-uniform tool which work in the velocity ratio, that is due to the work velocity ratio. Next one is the teeth error in the gears. So different types of teeth error which has been occurred in the gears. Next one is the lead screw error. So different types of lead screw errors. And last one is the eccentric mounting of the gears. So the mounting of the gears has to be in eccentricity way. So these are the different causes for occurring the periodic errors. So for occurrence of the periodic errors. So next we have the graph settling for these periodic errors. So the graph is drawn to the same notation, that is length of the thread and the cumulative pitch error. So you can see the graph has been accomplished in the different way, that is several crests and troughs has been occurred in these periodic error. So that is the difference between the periodic error and the progressive error. Next one is the drunken error. So this drunken error has been repeated once per ton of the thread in drunken thread. So the repeated occurrence of this drunken thread is due to the turn of the threading, which can occur once per turn. and in the drunken thread, pitch is measured parallel to the thread axis. So this is measured parallel to the thread axis. Last one, if the thread is not cut to the true helix, drunken thread error will be formed. So the drunken error thread will be formed if there is no true helix. So you can see the graphical structure of the drunken thread there. So we have taken the notations as the mean diameter to the pitch error. So you can see the helix angle here. So this is caused by the several crests and several troughs. That is the upper limit and the lower limit of the curve. So we can see the helix angle in the picture, in which it is measured with the pitch of the screw thread. So here, this is the true thread and this is the drunken thread. So second one is the drunken thread and first one is the true thread. So that is the straight line is the true thread and second one these crests are coming. That is the loop side threads are the drunken threads there. So it occurs with a helix angle there. Last one is the irregular error. So this irregular error varies in the irregular manner along the length of the thread. So that is used to the moving here and there. So the causes for occurring the irregular thread or that is irregular errors are machine fault, So it causes the machine fault, and it is offered by the non-uniformity in the material, and cutting action is not correct. So due to different machinability conditions, the cutting action is not correct and not worked through, and it has several machining disturbances. So it has several machining disturbances in it. So these are the different types of errors occurred in the screw thread measurement. So next we see the different types of screw thread gauges for measurement of the screw thread measurement. So for measuring the screw threads, we are going to take these screw threads. So these screw threads are different types. First one is the plug type screw gauges. This is of go and no go gauges. Second one is the ring type screw gauges. And third one is the threaded snap gauges. So in these threaded snap gauges, it consists of different types, that is adjustable thread snap gauges, caliper thread snap gauges, and last one is the roll thread snap gauges. So in that we can see the first one, that is the plug screw gauges. So these type of plug gauges should be used in the go gauge and no go gauge combination. So the purpose of these go gauge is to determine whether the hole has the lower limit of specifications. So whether it has the lower limit of the specifications or not. So it is used to check with the go and no go gauge. and if a hole is too small, the gauge will not enter, so it does not enter to the, it has a small hole to it, and the larger no-go gauge checks the upper limit of the hole. So the larger no-go gauge will use it to check the upper limit of the hole which is to be specified. So in the right side you can see the different types of plug screw gauges used in it. So there is the limits which has been engraved to the sizes, and the screw threads have been varied according to the size of it. So next one is the ring type screw gauges for the outer diameter as well as the inside diameter. So you can see it in the picture there. So two types of gauges have been used, that is no-go gauge and no-go gauge. Go gauge and no-go gauge have been used. So a ring gauge or the ring is a cylindrical ring of thermally stabilized material, and often used is the metal used is the steel whose inside diameter is finished to go with the gauge tolerance, that is gauge tolerance, and is used for checking the external diameter of a cylindrical object. So these are highly used for the external, checking the external diameter of a cylindrical object. So in the picture you can see the two types of threads. So in the go gauge it is the internal threading, and in the no go gauge it is the smooth type of fraction in the internal one. So you have to take the two gauges, that is go gauge and no go gauge, for the ring type of screw gauges. So this is the ring type gauge. Next one is the thread snap gauge. So a snap gauge is a form of go and no go gauge. So this snap gauge also consists of two gauges, that is the go gauge for the maximum width and no go gauge for the lower limit. So these are two gauges for the same type of elements, and it is a limit gauge with permanently or temporarily fixed measurement aperture. So this is the permanently fixed one, and one gauge is used to change, that is moderate that one. And this is used to quickly verify whether an outside dimension of a part matches a preset dimension or falls within the predefined tolerances. So this has to be occur in the predefined tolerances. So in the snap gauge, you can see the two gauges. This is the go gauge and two no go gauge. It can be adjustable at the end. So that is of the threaded snap gauge type. Next, we will see the screw thread micrometers. So you all know about the micrometers, which we have seen in the second unit. Different types of micrometers have been established there. So these screw thread micrometers is one of the type in the measurement, that is outside micrometer, inside micrometer, depth gauge micrometer, and the screw thread micrometer. So these screw thread micrometer measures the pitch of the thread directly, and the screw thread micrometer has a 60-degree pointed spindle. So you can see it in the picture also. It consists of a 60 degrees degree pointed spindle there with a double shaped swiveling anvil. So it has a double shaped swiveling anvil attached to it. And these in these micrometer, you have to put this thread to the two types, that is the on the face and as well as the root of the screw thread also. it has to be fixed at two ends, and we have to check the degree pointed spindle of the screw thread to it. So these screw thread micrometers generally have the 60 degrees pointed spindle and the double V-shaped swiveling anvil over it. So we have to fix the screw thread to this one, and then we have to fix the screw thread in it with a double V-shaped swiveling anvil. This has been taken for the measurement for the degree pointed spindle over it, and it has a double V-shaped swiveling anvil in it. Last one is the limited type of thread gauge. So these screw thread micrometers measure the pitch of the thread directly. So these can be measured directly, and the screw thread micrometer has a 60 degrees pointed spindle as we have seen in the last slide, and it has a double V-shaped swiveling anvil over it. And since it uses the upper limit and lower limit of the predetermined dimension accuracy of a screw thread using two screws with different dimensions. So we can measure the two screw threads at a time with the different dimensions. A blind for inspection. So this is used for the different dimensions, used for the blind as the inspection. So that is defined of the blind and for inspection. So these are the different threads used for direct measurements. So we can measure the with the direct measurements by using these gauges, that is the ring gauge, snap gauge, and other gauge. So each and every gauge has a two types of limits, that is the no gauge and the no go gauge for the upper limit section and the lower limit section. So by this, I'm going to end the class for the screw thread measurement. So we have seen different types of measurements by using the which cause the errors in the major diameter and the minor diameter, and we had also seen the effective diameter also. For verifying the effective diameter also, we have seen two-wire method and the three-wire method. So the two methods have been very important in the point of university exams. So by this, I am going to end this class. Thank you.